No, thank you. Sorry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beam Saber the Cenotaph Part 30. I am your host and GM for this evening, Austin Ramsey. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter at NotAnIn, that's NOTANINN. I am also the creator of Beam Saber, which you can find at austin-ramsey.itch.io/beamsaber. As always, this stream is presented by You Don't Meet in an Inn, an actual play podcast about exploring obscure tabletop role-playing games with a diverse, rotating cast. This evening, I am joined by Ray.
Shit. Hi, I'm Ray. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at RayRayTheGayGay. And you can find my very small collection of games at rayinthefog.itch.io.
Thank you very much. Also with us is Takuma.
Hi, I'm Takuma. My pronouns are they and she. My Twitter is at Takuma_Okada_. I make games and music and stuff. You can find that at noroadhome.itch.io. And one of my games was actually part of the Save Point stream for Trans Lifeline recently, this past weekend, I guess. And that's Chess Two Kingdoms. You use chess to play two different countries that are kind of in conflict, or two different groups. It doesn't have to be countries per se, but so Mikey and RoboWitch streamed that as a VOD, if you want to check that out, or if you want to check out the game.
Nice. Also with us is Jess.
Hey guys, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she and her, and you guys can follow me on twitch.tv and Twitter at Quasinim for not much of anything, because transition is hard and I'm focusing on self-care. That being said, you can also find my podcast, The Movie Morgue, at moviemorgue.simplecast.com or wherever you get podcasts. It's a good time. Just nerds talk about movies.
Thank you very much. And last but never least, Sasha.
Hi, I'm Sasha. My pronouns are NNs. You can find me on Twitter at Sasha_now. You can follow all of my game dev stuff at tcabbage.
Thank you. Okay, so we're entering the finale of the Cenotaph. I suspect this probably won't be the last session, but it will be the first session of the last mission. Unless things go very unexpectedly, and who knows, maybe they will, because PCs. So, last we left our heroes, you all had managed to clear out and make safe the Twin Learn Red headquarters for the March of Saints, while also gathering actionable intel on the Sovereignty Engine for the Breath of Faith. At the same time, you found the secondary control room for the Sovereignty Engine. After a tense standoff, you smashed all the controls with a well-placed rocket, and then smashed apart the servers in the headquarters with a well-placed AV. And then you returned home to do as much recovery and recuperation and repairs as you could in a single 24-hour period in preparation for assaulting the primary control room of the Sovereignty Engine, located under the tower in Journey City. That space elevator that everyone here is fighting over and that dominates the sky for miles around. So, where do we find each of you when Scratch summons you to the chapel? Tower, where are you?
I think Tower is taking the opportunity to sleep in. I don't think they ever sleep in, because they've been making breakfast for people, and y'all wake up at ridiculously early hours, so they've just started waking up with you. So I think they're, and by sleeping in, I mean like sleeping until like 8, so not super in, but I think they're probably pretty asleep.
Okay. Where is Dredge?
I think that Dredge tried to get some sleep last night, and it just did not happen. So Ko is sitting on top of the magpie, floating over a field, just sort of looking at the mountains.
Okay. Pitchfork, where are you at?
I think I was writing a letter and I fell asleep.
Where were you writing it?
Not the barn. Maybe it's like literally at the like table, like dining room table.
Okay. And Scarecrow, where are you?
Absent.
Okay. Are you beyond the range of the comms for Scratch to hit you up, or do we see the shot of you taking out your earpiece or purposefully ignoring the call?
I think what we see is, you see her in the Karasu moving along, and you see like an LED blinking on and off to indicate it, but you don't necessarily see specific indication that she sees it.
Okay. Alright. So, Scratch contacts all 4 of you. 3 of you answer the call and come to the chapel. Presumably. Is anyone else not coming to the chapel or making any side stops before you head there? Oh, okay then. You get to the chapel and it's empty inside. You've been sharing a lot of your own base with the paladins for the last couple of weeks as they've requisitioned first the airstrip and then tried to requisition your quarters and have been making frequent use of the chapel, but there's none of them in here this morning. It's just Scratch, who is sitting on the podium, feet dangling, and so they are wearing, of course, their usual devil face emoji, and then the rest of their outfit is they have a dark green t-shirt on, like a v-neck t-shirt that has a v-neck hem and v-neck sleeves, and in red text it says "Ceci n'est pas une shirt." And then for on their lower body they're wearing long-sleeved jorts.
Long-sleeved jorts?
Yes, it's jorts that have had like sleeves from a long-sleeve shirt sewn onto the bottom of them, and you can even see that they've got cufflinks, which are urinals, at the like around their ankle.
Oh my god.
An icon.
Yeah, and they're wearing a belt that has a big old buckle that says "I'm a bitch."
Perfect. God.
I would die for them.
You probably will.
An icon.
So they're sitting on the podium, sort of like idly kicking their feet, which, like, because they're an AR entity, their feet just clip through the podium underneath them as they're kicking their legs back and forth. And So the three of you come in. Where does everyone position themselves in the chapel for this briefing? As you all wait for Scarecrow to arrive.
Yeah. I think Tower does the gay and can't sit on chairs sit. Grabs a chair and does that.
Could you describe that particular style of sitting for me?
It's okay. So the way I'm imagining it is it's the bad boy I'm too cool Riker sit, but they've got one leg sort of tucked up and curled in. So the chair is backwards and they've got like a knee bent up like they're in a ball, and the other one is just like off to the side.
Okay. Pitchfork, where are you at?
I am lying down on a bench.
Okay. And Dredge.
There are pews in here, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm in the second row with my feet kicked over the first row.
All right. So, after like about 15 minutes of idly waiting for Pitchfork.
Scarecrow.
Yes, for Scarecrow.
I will put this question in there. Did Pitchfork say nothing? She saw her leave.
Nope.
We're functional adults.
Yep, okay. So, Scratch finally says, "No, I guess it is just the four of us this morning. So are y'all ready for your hashtag squad goals?" Okay, so your mission today, it comes care of Castle Kim of the Breath of Faith. And they seemed somewhat frazzled, shall we say. So, intel has come in that the Jovangellians have rapidly redeployed forces to occupy Journey City, specifically the area around the tower. Now, that's been a slight advantage for the Paladins, as they've been able to move northward and take the territory that was being contested between us and the Empire. But it's been slow going because the Paladins are a cautious lot, and they're, worried about booby traps that might have been left behind, which is understandable since there have been booby traps left behind. And the intel says that the hyenas, the wolf pack, the raccoons, and the herd have all been moved to Journey City. There's even rumors of a Shadespeare squad being in the area. Nothing confirmed on that end, though. And Castle Kim has looked at the intel that you provided previously to them and come to the conclusion that somehow the Jovangellians know that the Sovereignty Engine control room is under the tower. And so they're putting together as quickly as possible a force to go and kick the Jovangellians out of Journey City and make sure that they don't have control of the Sovereignty Engine. So, what this means is that y'all are going to be dragged into a straight up fight in an occupied city because you're on hand. It's going to be the Cenotaph, the Paladins, and the Repentant attempting to take back or liberate Journey City. Castle Kim has also said that they're trying to get in touch with Pars Piani of the Dark Room and Lady Elreth of Lady Elreth to assist in this. Try and call in those favors. But that's up in the air. So it'll just be a coordinated effort between our 3 squads, at least for certain. So the objective is to stop the Jovangellians from getting control of the sovereignty engine. As for rules of engagement, there are none. They can't get the sovereignty engine, no matter the cost. That's Castle Kim's words. So,
Who are the repentant? I've never heard of them.
yeah, they're new to me as well. I haven't looked them up yet. Well, haven't been able to find files on them, frankly. They seem kind of low. They seem like they might be worse supplied than the Cenotaph, to give you an idea of the high regard in which the church holds them.
Great.
I think I know who they are.
Is that in character?
I think it's just sort of like whispered over their shoulder.
Well, Tower, you want to share with the rest of the class?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Somehow, don't know how that happened, but I think the Rights of the Ascent may have gotten back into the good graces somehow. Maybe I might be wrong, but all things considered, the repentant seems pretty on brand.
That would track. A request was also put forward to the March of Saints, but it sounds like Castle Kim wasn't able to convince Senior Kin Hartberg to assist in this matter.
That's insane. How would Tusser not be all over this?
I couldn't tell you, but it sounded like they were busy piecing something together in their compound in the Broken Bank. Or at least trying to.
Brilliant.
So that's the mission. Coordinate
Lovely.
with the Paladins and the Repentant, hopefully the Dark Room and Lady Elreth, and make sure the Jovangellians don't get the sovereignty engine, whatever that is. Any questions?
Do we have any idea how entrenched the Jovangellians, I guess, are already?
I think that might be a gather information roll. How do you want to try and find this out?
I'd love to do that. That's a good question.
Take us over to the play screen.
Call that a consort, which is just to, like, call around to the few Jovangellian squads that will still talk to me and be like, hey, how's it going? How are things?
As a reminder, y'all have +3 with the hyenas.
That's true. So I'd be happy to call up, what's her face?
Julia Ripper Faraday.
That's the one.
That's such a good name.
Call that a sway. Or no, that's a consort. That's fully a consort. What am I talking about?
Yeah. She likes y'all. She thinks y'all are fun and harmless.
That's it. That's a 6.
That's a
Nice!
6. Well done. Okay. Um. So what do you ask her?
Um. Well, the thing that I would like to know is if is which of the streets around the tower are occupied.
Okay. All right. So you chat with her some, and let's see. Where are my tokens? Okay. You chat with her some, and she's like fine with talking with you. She's, you know, isn't really concerned about y'all showing up. She seems to figure that there's a good chance that they're going to be redeployed out of here because everyone, like, in your conversation with her, you figure out that the hyenas, the raccoons, the wolf pack, and the herd have no idea why they're doing this, why they're occupying the city. They think these orders are absurd because they know that there's no way this force can hold the city because everyone here wants access to the tower. And they're, you know, it would not be surprising for, say, the church, the DFS, and the Adamant Council of Nor to all send squads in together to kick the Jovangellians out of the city so that they can get access to their, you know, off-planet supplies once again. So she says that they figure they're going to be redeployed, so no one has, like, set up any permanent defenses. The area around the tower, which, if you look on the map, is pretty empty. That is normally essentially a massive parking lot for transporting vehicles to take whatever materials are loaded from the tower to wherever they're going. And all of those transport vehicles have been cleared out so that there's a clear field of fire around the tower. And I am going to put down some tokens for where the various squads are. Okay. So I'm gonna have to resize them.
Funky.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Chunchy boy.
So the wolf pack are sort of to the east a bit. There they are. The hyenas are more around the area itself, the tower itself. There it is. The raccoons are up here as a reserve force. And the herd are in this clearing here to provide fire support. So, also as a reminder, so the raccoons are tier 1 scavengers. Their goal is just to, like, recover, like, they generally don't all gather together for operations. They act independently to just find whatever materials are handy and make use of them for the war effort. The hyenas are a close combat squad. You can see that the token that I have using for them is a mech with an axe.
Incredible.
Specifically a Battletech Hatchet Man. The wolf pack are an elite squad that were taken off of the front lines to recover their strength. And then the herd are an artillery-based squad. So, that is the intel you get, the extended intel you get from chatting with Ripper in the hyenas.
Fantastic. That's extremely useful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, obviously she doesn't lay it all out quite like that, but through your conversation with her, you're able to piece this together.
Mm.
Does anyone else want to gather some information for this mission before we go to mission planning?
I just have a question for Dredge / Sasha, depending on who's answering. And I'm just confused. So, are we able to convince the hyenas to work with us? Like, are we able to sort of, they're pretty clearly being set up as a diversion / trap / whatever else. Like, is there a way we could leverage that to gain their support, more thoroughly? Or do you think we're good?
It would be great to have more support. Being able to spot the blind spots to this place is really, really helpful. It would be really nice to just sort of come through their territory and just sort of breeze through. But I don't know if we're at, like, we're clearly at break NDA levels of friendship. I don't know if we're at actual battlefield treason levels of friendship with the hyenas quite yet.
I'm not necessarily asking that they do battlefield treason. I mean, maybe we just ask them to be a little louder than they would normally be and just, like, be a little more distracting. Maybe do a little more large-scale destruction than originally intended, and just, try and if they catch some other Jovo squads in the crossfire, then no big deal.
Oh, so we're friendly fire friends then.
Yes.
I see.
But you get the gist of what I'm saying.
Yeah, interesting proposition coming from Tower, but I'll take it.
This is a me, not a Tower.
Okay.
I don't have a character voice, so I can't make that clear.
I mean, we could ask.
Are they the kind of friends that they wouldn't, like, immediately fuck us over if we asked a question like that, do you think?
It's a delicate thing, and I'm not sure.
Okay.
Three is pretty good. 3 is pretty good, so I feel like if it's with anyone, it's gonna be with them.
Yeah.
But also,
But 3 is pretty good.
I think that is the kind, like, that sort of thing, it might be the kind of thing to handle with a flashback when it becomes relevant.
yeah. Okay, cool.
We just, like, at this point, it's just, is there any more information that you want to try and get before we start planning the mission?
Okay.
Pitchfork, anything for you?
I mean, do we want to spend stress to ask the GM a question?
That's true, y'all do have Big Brother, so you could spend 2 stress to ask me a question.
I'm down burn stress, so.
I got nothing.
But if we don't have information we specifically want, like, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, sounds like we're moving on then. So, for this mission, the employer is the Breath of Faith. The target is the Shadespeare Squad. The objective is to stop the Jovangellians from getting control of the sovereignty engine. Your rules of engagement are none. Do whatever you want so long as you stop them from getting control of this device, which could very rapidly shift the course of the Isian conflict. And what tactic do y'all want to use?
Huh?
Assault, deception, scientific, social, stealth, or transport?
Scientific.
Okay,
Wow.
what's the unusual procedure you're using?
Bashing through a wall? That's an unusual procedure, right?
That sounds more like assault to me.
I know.
For us, that sounds kind of usual.
Yeah, that's kind of our shtick.
I'm just like, I've only been here for half the time, and I can recall like 3 instances where I've gone through a wall.
Are we going for assault? Is that sort of just like that's what we talked about last session?
What happened to Diggy Diggy?
To
I think-
what?
I think going in from underground is still assaulting it.
Yeah.
That
I mean-
might be scientific. That's an unusual procedure. Engaging with technological power.
Actually, okay. I was just joking, but all right.
I mean, if that's the plan, is deception, or sorry, is to dig.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that's what we had talked about last session, very extensively.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're engaging with technological power, and the detail is the unusual procedure, which is digging underground to try and get to the tower by using the magpie's knell. Is that my understanding to
It's
dig?
a little bit of the knell. It's a lot of hands, and also I have never actually used this until now, which is very exciting. But the magpie has had earth movers jaws on the front of it since the beginning of this game. So
Didn't you use it once when you like went under the road when we were doing the band heist?
oh yeah, I guess I did. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, so scientific. All right, loadout. What's everyone's pilot load?
Oh, heavy.
Heavy.
No sense in leaving anything at home today.
Yeah.
Scarecrow?
Sorry, repeat that?
What loadout are you taking?
I'm not here, but heavy.
Yeah, okay. Pilot bindle to go with your mecha bindle.
Yep.
Okay, so I think that might be the fastest we've ever gotten to the engagement roll.
Woo! Because we did it all last session.
I see. That's the secret. You just remove one player from the equation.
Okay, so is the mission bold?
I would say yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably.
Yes with a question mark.
Okay, so one base, one for being bold. Is the mission especially complex?
We're kind of just digging and then
There-
bashing in through the wall.
There are a lot of squads involved, though.
That's fair.
We don't have to deal with them.
That's why we're going under them.
Famous last words.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that it's not especially complex because you are. Yeah, it sounds like y'all are just not going to bother trying to coordinate with the paladins or the repentant.
I mean, I had thought we were like gonna at least do the evacuation order.
I feel like we've passed that at this point. I mean, if
Well, can I like spend stress to do a flashback to have done that,
Yeah.
or like, yeah, is
Yeah.
that an okay thing to do?
Yeah, but let's do it once we start the mission.
Yeah, sorry.
No, no,
I
no
just
need to
I want to make
apologize.
sure we're not gonna like have a ridiculous amount of collateral damage going.
already okay.
All right.
Sorry, have I
Hmm?
have I fucked up?
No.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Does the mission exploit the target's vulnerabilities?
Insofar as you can call being underground a vulnerability.
I mean, kinda, yeah. Like, it's the only reason that we're able to do the mission in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is the mission's tactic ineffective against the target? Kind of. I mean, the reason being that, like, the tower has a very large foundation that you're gonna, like, it's not loose soil that you're digging through.
No.
Does the squad receive external support for the mission? Yes. Is anyone interfering with the mission other than the target? Yes. Are there any other factors that affect the mission?
I'm not gonna point that one out, because that would lose us a die.
How honest of you.
I've never been honest in my life, and we all know it.
Was that all? How many dice is that?
That's
Ooh.
2.
That's 2.
It's not as bad as it could be.
Okay. Oh. Oh, hello.
So I'm just putting those tokens onto the map for the
Ooh, I
repentant
like the pink one.
and the paladins in case they are needed.
Oh, I like that pink one. That's cool.
It is very cool.
That's a very cool obby.
So, who wants to roll the 2 dice for the engagement roll?
Do you want me to do it?
Go for it.
Is it just a fortune roll?
Yep,
Okay, don't fuck me. Yeah, it's a 4.
that's a 4.
You only fucked me a little bit.
Risky, okay. What happens? So y'all are digging underground to try and get into there. Okay. Alright.
I guess we could have picked a spot that was closer to start digging from, but that works as well.
Okay. What is the first challenge you come across? Yeah, okay. I think the first challenge is like whether or not you can dig to the tower, frankly, because okay, so you're digging underground. The 3 of you have your AVs in a tunnel that the Magpie has prepared. You found some place, I guess, shall we say that it is the area over by where the Repentant and the Paladin's tokens are located? Or somewhere else? It can really be anywhere. Where would you want to start digging from?
Well,
Sorry.
my plan was to come in as close to the tower as possible. So like maybe near the hyenas or maybe under the hyenas.
Oh, so you actually want to get like fairly close before you start digging.
Yeah.
Okay.
My only worry about that is that means they'll know we're coming very, very quickly on.
They're gonna know anyway.
Fair. I don't know. I'm just worried. I do think that if we start from the position of the paladins and the repentant, that means we have the fictional positioning to go back and do flashbacks with them to talk with them. Because it'll establish that we've met at least.
I mean,
Sure.
you can have had the opportunity to do that. That's not an issue. I'm just wondering, like, where are you starting to dig from? Where's
I
the
would.
big Avi-sized hole?
How do I ping? Hold up.
You just hold down left mouse button.
I think here might be a good place. Like, there's a nice choke to hold there. It's nice, like. It's a nice compromise between dig forever and keeping safe from being immediately visible from the tower. That's my
We
thought.
could also go from somewhere in the broken bank. It's farther, but the hole we leave will be way less conspicuous. Because it's already a really fucked up area.
Did we want to go in from the river originally? Like there?
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I
Like going
mean,
from the side of the river wall.
yeah, I mean the river's gonna have like sewer lines feeding into it, so
And we can all be wearing environmental suits.
Oh, your AVs are sealed.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, I think from like a tactics point of view, that maybe coming in from the river is the thing. Maybe Sorry, I'm trying to come up with a quick answer for you, and it is not happening.
You're coming from the south, basically,
Yeah,
and from the river.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so you're starting your digging in the river, or just
Just like from the river
bang.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Trent. I'm having trouble figuring out a good first challenge that is like not you guys are incompetent and thus think there's a problem, and it's also not just like completely negating your plan thus far.
Well,
Oh,
if you
okay,
want-
no, I got it. All right. So you're doing your underground assault, and the repentant and the paladins are doing their above ground assault in from the south, coming across the. I think the rendezvous point where y'all met up was the clinic, because it is next to the main road going to the city center, and is also fairly close to the March of Saints compound. So you met up there, and they're doing their overland assault, and the battle, like the ground around you shakes, because the herd have begun bombarding the area that they are moving through with artillery. And so y'all are underground. There's not going to be a cave-in. I want that to be clear. But it is causing problems with your plan of digging. So, I think the concern here is like it might break up the ground in front of you in such a way that your tunnel gets exposed to the above ground, or potentially like there could be other uh, uh, open areas underneath that you don't know about that you could drop through if you dig the wrong way. So I think you hit like the edge of the tower's foundation, and judging by the the plans that you came up with beforehand, because you can't contact the surface for guidance from down here, but you're probably still blocks from like the open area around the tower as far as you can judge on how far you've traveled. So what do you want to do?
Hmm. Okay, so to surmise, uh, the land above us is getting bombed, and so there's a good chance that um, tunneling will expose the tunnel. And we've found the foundation, but it's too hard to tunnel through.
Uh, it's not you're pretty sure you could do it. It would, be a risky proposition, but like it's basically you've hit a change in the material that you're working through, so you're going to have to recalibrate and thus need to make a roll.
Okay.
Assuming that you want to continue forward on this plan, or if you want to change your plan.
I'm good to go.
Sorry.
That's all I said. Is I'm good to go. What's up?
I mean, I'm always down to blow shit up. I've always got my placed explosives.
That's the idea. I would like to do 2 rolls then. The first is a scan to get a better sense of what this stuff is, and how to destroy it.
Okay. So that sounds like a setup action.
Sure.
Let me just think. What is your position? Yeah, I think it'll be risky standard still.
Alright. Even with my analytics suite?
Oh, yeah, so you've got an analytics suite, so that'll be risky grade.
Fantastic. Risky. Great. That is 2 dice. It's a 4.
A 4. Okay. Alright. So here is the consequence is that you've so the foundation is a like proprietary form of essentially concrete. It's if you wanted to call it super concrete, you would not be far away from calling it that. I think as you were like going through some of the data in the Twin Learn Red headquarters, you probably recall coming across the like plans for this stuff in relation to the Sovereignty Engine's construction. So you're pretty sure you would be able to recalibrate your tools to dig through it, but you're going to have to turn it up high, which is going to put you at a desperate position. But you will have improved effect because of this.
Okay.
I think Pitchfork asks you, do you think it would be a good idea if I softened it up first?
Yeah. I think that would come in handy.
All right. It's jackhammer time.
Oh hell yeah!
Actually using it for what it was intended.
Hell yeah!
For the first time?
I feel like there must have been at least one other time, right? We collapsed a building. I feel like it must have been involved.
I don't think it was.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Maybe this is the first intended use. Yeah, so is that an assist? A setup?
Yeah, that sounds like a setup to me.
Okay.
I mean, you could also just decide that that's an assist if you want to spend the stress.
Yeah, actually we'll call it an assist actually.
Okay, how much stress are you spending?
That is 2.
Alright. So, Dredge, what are you rolling to try and make your way forward through the foundation of the tower?
That is a destroy, I think.
Using brute force?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that would normally be Desperate Great because of your setup action and its consequence. But you're getting 2 points of assist from Pitchfork. I'm guessing you're going to take position and a die.
Yes, and also I'm using my Find Destruction tools.
Can't get better than great.
Can I use that to lower the risk?
No, you cannot.
Okay. So that's risky great, is that right?
Yep.
With 3 dice. Risky great. 3 dice. That's probably fine. And it's probably gonna go good. And I did! I got a 6.
That's a 6. Well done. Okay. So what does it look like as the magpie and Bert begin tunneling through the foundation of the tower?
I like the image of Bert going up ahead and like punching holes in the concrete, and then the magpie like coming in and using those as like anchors for the fine fine explosives, and then just sort of like blasting this neat tunnel through, which wouldn't have been quite as neat without the like specific points drilled in. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, you punch a tunnel through the foundation of the tower. You keep it nice and tidy so that you don't damage the foundation of this space elevator. Be very bad if you decide not to shoot it down and then just collapse it from underneath. And
I'm back. Yeah. Ooh. Sorry,
you
connection.
you're digging through the tunnel, and then the wall in front of you collapses into a wide open storage area because there are warehouses as part of the tower underneath it. So you can see that there's cargo containers stacked like 3 high down here, filled with who knows what goods headed off planet or coming down to the world.
Tower knows what's good.
And there's some transport vehicles down here. Some are AVs, some are just big trucks. None of them are occupied. But what you do find as you come out into the warehouse, very noisily, I might add, is that this warehouse has turrets in the ceiling which
Motherfucker.
activate. and they begin tracking towards the three of you. What do you all do?
Can I have gotten my cool taser stick back, or is that still junked?
That's pilot gear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's back.
Okay. Cause I junked it last mission.
Yeah. Oh, and to be clear, these turrets, they are like heavy machine gun turrets. They're heavy enough to make like to punch holes in AVs. They're not like anti-AV machine guns, but they'll
They
do
can
the
fuck you
job.
Car machine guns, not tank machine guns.
Yeah.
Still gonna hurt.
Yep. So there are fluorescent light or LED lights strips along the roof of this place, so it is well lit for people to be working in. It's like a warehouse. There is a ramp leading up to higher levels to your right, and there is a sort of like administration like control room overlooking this warehouse, a couple of like up near the ceiling embedded in one of the walls. It's like a box sort of sticking out of the upper corner of this space with windows all around, and yeah, designed to coordinate the people acting here. There's also cranes in the ceiling too, like the kind they have at ports that are meant for offloading shipping containers.
Does this match the schematics that we got from Twiddler and Red for the tower, or are these new?
There's definitely this space on the schematics, but the schematics you had were more bare bones. It's sort of like if you have a house's blueprints, you're not going to have where all the furniture is going to be, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you knew that that control room was going to be there. You didn't necessarily know what it was going to be. And there would have been the, like, thinking about the schematics now, you can be like, oh yes, I can see how those holes in the ceilings were designed to feature turrets.
Hindsight's always 2020. Well, the magpie like sticks its nose out through the smoke, hears the fucking whir of the turrets turning, and then just sort of backs back into the hole.
Okay. And don't forget that you'll have flashbacks, speaking of hindsight being 2020.
Yeah, I do want to do the Doctors Beyond Stars flashback, but I think we can do that as we get to potential collateral damage bits, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Or should we just do it now?
I mean, the herd were already firing artillery into the area around
yeah.
the tower.
Can I do that flashback?
Yeah. So that's not going to cost you any stress. It was
Okay.
something you'd already talked about a whole bunch. So what is this?
I mean, I think it's like Dredge and Tower sitting at a table, like, spending, like, an hour drafting emails. In that sort of hour we spent, like, in that sort of, like, hour or two we spent planning in the control room, like, drafting emails or calls or whatever, and just, like, calling as many people as we can get to get this through.
Okay, so it's you. Who are you? You're the ones making the calls to try and evacuate, or are you contacting people to make the evacuations?
Contacting people, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe we, like, even, like, talk to Bishop Finmal, get him on board. With just,
Right.
like,
I mentioned last time I wanted the rubble runs to like help, but like
Yeah.
farther away.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So what do you want to roll for that?
Um. Hmm. What are my stats? Uh. What would that be? Like, it's not a consort.
Can we do a
It
group
could
command?
absolutely be a consort.
Could it be a group consort?
It could be a group consort.
Is everyone all right with that?
I don't have any points in consort, but
I got stress to burn.
Okay, guess Tower's leading this
If that's all right with everyone.
yeah.
this cold call marathon.
God.
Okay. So call people up.
And is this? Do we just roll this like we normally roll?
Yeah. Everyone roll your consort. This is controlled standard.
Okay.
Hey!
Hey! That's a 6. Hi.
And I didn't fail.
And you didn't fail.
Yeah, you got a 5 pitchfork.
Well,
Okay, so you take
got
a 1
stress to burn.
stress.
you don't think about group projects, right?
Dredge is too busy filling out wills to remember to call people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got a 6.
Yeah, you did get a 6. So, there's no consequence as you call up these people. So I'm going to just combine their tiers and have that be a fortune roll. So you got Bishop Finmal, which is tier 1, the Rubble Runts, tier 1, and Doctors Beyond Stars, tier 2. So Tower, since you led this, give us a 4-die fortune roll.
2 6s.
Oh, yeah, alright. So between those 3 groups, like, they're able to clear out the people around the tower. Like, all those buildings, like, that are likely to be within the combat area have been cleared out. I am
Oh
going
yeah.
to
Hell yeah.
just
We did a thing.
yeah, y'all did do
We
a thing.
successfully did a thing. For once.
Congratulations, Tower.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
I like how my brain's going the Shinji thing again. Congratulations, Tower. Yeah.
Yeah. So this red line it marks roughly where y'all were able to clear people out of.
We did okay.
Yeah, you did a
Like-
great job. I think that's like a lot of the Doctors Beyond Stars and Bishop Finmal using their sort of like top-down cred to convince people to leave, and then the Rubble Runts and to a lesser degree Bishop Finmal using their like grassroots cred to convince people to leave.
That is a lot of collateral averted.
Yeah, I mean, you got basically a crit. You got 2 6s on that 4-die fortune roll.
Yay!
Yeah. So the herd are bombarding empty homes as the fight begins to break out above ground. But y'all don't know what's going on up there.
Nice.
Okay.
Nor do we care anymore.
There is only the mission.
God.
All right. So speaking of the mission, the 3 of you underground, what are you doing? There's those turrets keeping a watch on your tunnel entrance now.
Like, I'm wondering if we've got, it's like an EMP pulse grenade or something like that. Like,
I don't think any of you have access to that due to your playbooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I got darts and whatnot, but those are for meat things and not mechanical things. So
I've got a shield that probably is partially useful against those, and also smoke grenades, I guess.
I mean, hey,
Question: does the Magpie have all of its load declared?
I think it has 1, 2, 3, 4, all but one. Why?
Well, you have payload bay. I mean, you also don't have anything to fire those warheads with, but that's
could
an
throw them.
option.
you could just throw a fucking warhead.
I didn't know that.
Mm,
I don't look at this character sheet ever.
Just slow roll it. Just
That's good to know. But I was gonna say, like, some smoke grenades and then getting up close enough to punch out the turrets. That could be something.
yeah, how tall's the ceiling again?
It's probably like, let's see, probably like 70 feet high. This is
So
a,
I
this
could-
is a huge room.
So I could reach it with the jackhammer, though, probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You
Okay.
can melee those turrets if you get close to them. Speaking of, I'm gonna put a clock up for these turrets.
Ah, now I'm scared. Never heard of
Now we're playing Beam Saber.
it.
Yeah.
this is pod racing.
Bad.
Now you're thinking with clocks.
Yeah, okay, so it's a 4-tick clock for these warehouse turrets. What are y'all gonna do about them?
Do we want to blow them up? I'm good with blowing them up. I'm good with climbing on the ceiling and fucking them up. I can climb on the ceiling and fuck them up.
I feel like you'll get shot on your way to fuck them up.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
And
if,
the explosion would be loud.
if anyone can sneak up on them, it'd be Tower, the infiltrator.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like, if they're from the ceiling, I'm sure there's like a point in their rotation where they can't fire anymore.
Also,
So, like-
if they're focused on the mech that has a shield,
Then I
Like-
can yeet up to the ceiling and fuck them up.
Yeah.
Is everyone down with that?
Hmm.
Okay, so that sounds like a setup action or an assist by Pitchfork to be a distraction using Bert so that Tower can then sneak up on these turrets and try and destroy them.
I'm gonna say that's a... I'm not sure. I think this is more of a setup action. But I don't know which one do I use?
What do you mean, which one?
Well, which action?
That's a good question. What do you want to use?
I don't think it's bombard or scan or destroy, so that leaves me with battle, maneuver, and manipulate. I don't think I'm gonna be moving too much.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm probably gonna be trying to block bullets as best as I can, which maybe that's manipulate.
That sounds like it could work.
Grabbing bullets.
Okay. So you're doing a setup action to give Tower better, well, not just Tower, but anyone who takes advantage of this, better position.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay.
Is
Give
that with
us-
smoke grenades, or is that just standing out with a shield and being big and shootable?
It's yeah, it's mostly the latter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being big and shootable.
Position and effect.
This will be risky standard.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dice 2.
Mm.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. Okay.
Mm.
Before I forget, Dredge, I just wanted to tell you that the payload bay pulls from the same like chemical list as your bandolier does.
Jesus. Okay.
Just
cool.
on like a vehicle scale.
Terrifying. Thanks so much.
Ooh.
Okay, so a risky 3, eh? All right. Yeah, okay. So you get their attention. Absolutely. You 100% get their attention, Pitchfork. There's just like these 4 turrets just absolutely unloading on Bird. And they hit that shield with so many small caliber to y'all, but very large rounds. Eventually, like, they just start putting holes through the shield. It just like gets withered away in bits and pieces, like someone tearing small bits nervously out of a piece of paper. And so your shield is junked.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is it's the beer label
Yeah.
shield.
Yep, absolutely. That plow, you're using a plow for a shield. It was not designed to withstand a hailstorm of bullets. Tower.
Yeah.
What are you up to? You can tell
I-
that while these things are focusing fire on Bert, so what they look like is they kind of look like a slightly raised octagon that sticks out of the ceiling a couple of feet, and they have a pair of heavy machine guns poking out of one side of the octagon, but they also clearly they have an obvious sensor dome on like the bottom of the octagon that can see 360 degrees.
Do they have any obvious control panels or like hatches or anything?
Yeah, there's probably a maintenance hatch on one side of the octagon.
Okay. I am going to mark off my fine optical camo and my light climbing gear. I'm going to do what I did last mission. I'm going to yeet myself up to the ceiling and skitter along it. And try to get to the sort of first main turret and try to like bounce my way from turret to turret, jamming my like taser thing into the control panels in the back, just trying to shut them off.
Okay. I'm not saying you can't do this, but I have to ask, why are you not doing this in the Mantis?
because the mantis can't climb shit. Actually, no, the mantis can climb shit. It's got a light mobility suite.
And also has camo.
Yeah, also has camo. Never mind. I mean, I'm still gonna. Yeah. I forget that the mantis can actually do things sometimes.
You forget that you have a mech
Yeah.
in this game of Beam Saber.
Look, don't bully me.
I mean, to be
Okay.
fair, your prowl is better than your maneuver.
Yeah.
I,
My maneuver's
I
okay. Or, yeah, my maneuver's okay.
I just wanted to get this in since we're seem to be changing the action now. It's like, I wasn't really sure when they said they'd remake The Exorcist as a sci-fi action show, but I'm into it.
Yep.
So proud.
I also just really like the mental image of the tower just skittering over the ceiling. Not gonna lie, that's a big part of my decision-making process for this.
Well, now your mech can do the same.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just like I think the mantis sort of engages its jump booster things at its feet and like yeets up to the ceiling. I'm using yeet a lot tonight.
It's a good word.
It is. And sort of grasps onto the ceiling and begins to, again, like this, a similar sort of motion of like crawling, like hand and foot upside down across the ceiling. And just like I don't even think it's like dismantling it. I think it's pulling the maintenance hatches open and like just sticking like a hand in there and fucking it up real bad and then like pulling out and going to the next one.
Okay, what do you want to roll for this?
It's gonna be maneuver.
Sounds good. This will be because of your camo, this will be control.
And my setup.
Your setup failed.
Oh yeah, that doesn't.
Yeah, I failed.
This will be control.
We love you
standard.
anyway. Control standard. Okay. With 3 dice. It's not bad. Don't fuck me. That's 6.
That's a 6. All right, yeah. So
Oh,
you managed to trash 2 of these turrets.
Yay!
As you're rapidly moving along the ceiling. Dredge, what are you up to as Bert's shield gets Swiss cheesed?
That's a fine question. I don't know. I think I'd like to take a second to try and map out the tower, like update my schematics from within the hole, from what I can see. Maybe I can just roll a scan to do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
That'll be risky great because of your fine analytics suite.
Fantastic. I don't want to go get shot at the moment.
Maybe later.
Maybe later. Yeah. 2 dice for that. That's a 4.
That's a 4. Okay. Gonna put a new clock up.
Great.
And then going to... So, you get a 4. You are scanning along for any trying to better map out this space. And while you're doing that, you pick up a radio call from a familiar voice. Two familiar voices, rather. The first one is Claire,
Great.
and she is over the comms, and she is, she says that, what would she say? Yeah, she would recognize y'all at this point, definitely. She would say that the Cenotaph have breached your defenses around the tower. Please send reinforcements as soon as possible. And you get back the familiar voice of one Jason Basil, who says, "Don't worry about it, boss. We're on it." And so the raccoons, who were purposefully being held in reserve, are heading in to the tower.
That bitch.
So
Well, we got folks incoming. The raccoon specifically.
Alright.
but as a reminder, Jason Basil is Pitchfork's rival. So when he gets here, he will be a clock and have rival moves.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
But you do get that information. You have the the tower largely mapped out. You don't have the range to scan the entire space elevator. That's for damn sure. But if you have any questions about layout, I can answer them for you now.
Okay. Where's the control room?
It is further down. You can see that there is essentially a hidden elevator connected to the control room that goes to a facility deeper underground. That elevator is not AV sized.
Would it be possible to burrow to it? Not to the elevator, to the room.
Yeah, you could certainly try.
I love that.
I mean, it took you a roll to get in here. It's going to take you a roll to get deeper.
That's true.
Is this some speedrun bullshit where we're just trying to go out of bounds as much as possible?
Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of enemies in this one, and that adds 30 seconds to your time. So we just want to dig through here. It's like a 50-50 chance I'm doing it. This is the run ender right here.
Look, there's a whole battle set piece happening above ground that none of y'all are seeing. You're missing out on Lady Elreth kicking ass. And...
God damn it.
We're speed running this. This is what's happening. We're speed running the final encounter.
I only care about Lady Elreth.
Austin, I'm so sorry.
That's fine. I've only been wanting to show her mech to someone since 8th grade.
Oh, buddy.
I was trying to do it the smart way for once. I ruined all the plans. I'm so sorry.
It's seriously, no worries. I'm excited to see what happens with y'all digging. As I said, who knows what'll happen because PCs.
Because PCs. I'd like to try to do that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. That'll be risky standard.
Alright, that's a destroy. Still using these fine destruction tools, just getting my absolute money's worth out of them. Risky standard, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Can I? No, I'll do that if the roll fails. Okay.
Have we taken care of the turrets yet?
No.
I feel like
Well, I took care of 2 of them,
Yes.
but not all of them, which is the next thing I'm going to do. I'm gonna keep fucking them up.
Third. 2 dice. Oh, cool. That's a fail.
Hmm.
All right. Okay, so with that, I'm going to add the last 2 ticks to the reinforcements clock.
What? Shit. Speedy.
Don't like that. No, thank you.
Yeah. Because you say speedy, but as a reminder, the raccoons primarily piloted light apes. That was their like standard AV was the ape, a light Jovangellian combat mech. So yeah. Jess, is this where Scarecrow comes in?
Real fast, just for fictional positioning. Is everyone out of the hole yet?
No, I think Bert is like in front of the tunnel. Dredge is in the tunnel, and then Tower is somewhere on the ceiling of this massive warehouse.
Somewhere.
Okay. So what I think happens there is you guys hear and then the crowd comes sprinting out as fast as possible, and you just hear a single, like 2 words: "Move aside." And it's in like its standard configuration. That's just a narrower profile. It's moving, it's sleek, and it just Pitchfork. Are you moving out of the way?
Yeah, I'm surprised, but just barely in time.
Okay. And so it just basically leaps out of the hole, and you see it mid-air. All the shield panels unfurl into that kind of forward, like, bird feather configuration, and you just hear machine gun fire. There we go. That's a nice action cut.
Yeah. All right. And so with the arrival of Scarecrow and the raccoons, which reminds me, I need to add an 8-tick clock for Jason Basil. And then I am just going to repurpose the reinforcements clock for the raccoons. But with that, we are going to take our break, and we will be back in about 5 minutes. See y'all then.
Woo!